let's talk about COVID and how that's affected HR and how
Right.
that has affected the way that you have had to adjust what you have done. We know that you had to snap into action immediately, the same way that we did. We had to really be agile in what we were trying to let our communicate to our clients,
Right.
and ensure that they had an idea of what path they needed to take. You guys put us on that path as well and said, okay, let's do it this way. What we're dealing with now is the fact that we've got employees out there that are, and it's not just me, it's everybody, that we have employees out there that for whatever reason do not want to get vaccinated.
Right.
And it brings up some challenges within our organization about bringing people back into in-house. It brings up some challenges about whether we can go out to clients in the same way with these people. And, it's starting to create a bit of a separation. And, what's your advice to small business owners like me, and how we can address this empathetically, but also considering the best interest of the organization, as well as the best interest of the employees within the organization?
Yeah, it's I'm not surprised that you asked me this question, because you're probably the fifth person today that's asked me about
Exactly. I would assume
unvaccinated employees. But I just want to mention a comment about COVID, because what I said is what I said to clients is the way you act during COVID is gonna have a long-term impact on the success of your organization. So how you conduct yourself, I'm talking about like a year ago when this first happened, when it was like,
Right.
when we didn't have the information we have now. And, I actually never felt Shale and Mel in the 14 years that I've been in this business, 13 years, that I think our clients needed us more in the COVID period than ever before. And we were happy to be there. And we had an incredible retention rate for our clients during COVID, because I really think that, just like many companies were lost. They didn't really know. This was like uncharted, I'm not going to say unprecedented, but uncharted territory. Like, how do you deal with this? How do you deal with all these scenarios? And thinking back, it's actually remarkable how some companies did really well in terms of, I'm talking about the COVID response, and some companies took a very hard line, and it's going to hurt them. It hurt them in the short term, and it's going to hurt them in the long term too.
I agree.
So, I hope that some of the listeners on this podcast, took that to heart, because I think it's going to help with the viability of their business long term. As far as the question about vaccinations, I mean, it's definitely the hottest topic right now. Even our lovely prime minister is grappling with this issue of, passports and things like that. I mean, here's what I would say about vaccinations. I believe that from a legal perspective, until there's case law or legislation, you can, as a business owner, not only should you be asking your staff if they're vaccinated or going to be, it would be irresponsible for you not to ask that question. And I wouldn't ask it in a team meeting. I wouldn't ask it on a Zoom call, but through a survey or through a brief questionnaire to find out. Now, if someone elects not to answer the question, which is within their rights, their privacy rights, then I think it's also fair for an employer to inquire, why are you not willing to answer the question? This is a health and safety reason. We're trying to figure out if you're going to be vaccinated or if you are vaccinated, and to really ask that question. If they still persist on not answering it, which again is their right, then what I'm telling clients, Shale and Mel, because I'm getting a lot of calls from clients on this issue, is depending on the industry you're in, depending on the work that you're doing, the size and all other factors, there may be activities that those unvaccinated individuals are precluded from doing. So, I'll give you an example, a manufacturing plant. Let's say it has a day, afternoon, and night shift. And on the day shift, there's 50 staff, the afternoon has 20 staff, and the night shift has 5. And this is just a hypothetical example.
Yeah.
If an unvaccinated person was working on the day shift and they had this deeply held belief of not getting vaccinated, and the company tried to encourage them and they just said, I'm not doing it, then I don't think there's any problem talking as an option of moving them to a different shift where you're promoting health and safety, where you're protecting your other staff and you're still accommodating that individual, because accommodation, it involves a reasonable, not a perfect solution. So it's not like, okay, you can work from home forever, because maybe you're in a business where the person can't work from home and can work remotely. So you have to explore all options and you have to be as creative as possible. And yes, it's a bit of a hassle for entrepreneurs and business owners, but that's what you need to do. That's what you need to do. And I suspect that something's going to happen either through case law or legislation that's going to change this. But I think as employers, you have to be proactive.